certainly with identity politics, woke culture, cancel culture. I thought that was something that ravaged our nation psychologically, because you had people literally scared they were going to lose their jobs if they pronounced the wrong pronoun, for crying out loud. It got that bad, and I think that's one of the reasons that Donald Trump is in office today, because so much stuff, a lot is focused on the individual as opposed to actual policies itself. I'm talking about what they preached and what they talked to the American people about.
That's ESPN host and vocal Trump critic Stephen A. Smith leaving CNN's Jake Tapper visibly uncomfortable as he calls out the Democrat Party for abandoning their base and obsessing over radical progressive nonsense instead of actual policy. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and if you ever wanted proof that Democrats have completely lost the plot, here it is. Stephen A. Smith, a longtime liberal voice, is now saying out loud what millions of Americans have known for years. The party of the working people has been hijacked by identity politics, media gaslighting, and a total disconnect from reality. And now even the regime media is trying to clean up the mess by dragging disillusioned liberals on air to say what they're too scared to admit themselves.
Do you realize that if you are an elected official, your real work is with the campaign? Once you get into office, literally you can get away. I'm talking about the nation's capital specifically, not state and local politics, just the nation's capital. You realize that you can literally go on Capitol Hill and all your job is to do is to disagree with the other side. You don't even have to do anything else. Whatever the other side feels, you feel the opposite. That's not work. That's not going across the aisle. That's not maneuvering your way through the terrain, through the political terrain, and really negotiating on behalf of your constituency and the American people. All we're doing is engaging in acrimony and hate. And as a result, the American citizens are suffering. So when I look at it from that standpoint, and I think the kind of impact that I could have as a centrist, as a moderate, as somebody who believes in being sensical and engaging in common sense, unfortunately, I believe that if I did take this very, very seriously and I moved forward and I decided that I wanted to be a politician, do I believe I could win? You're damn right. But it's by default. It's not because I'm the most qualified candidate in the world. It's because of the state of our politics in the nation's capital, the politicians that we're looking at, and the fact that we don't believe for 1 second that they are serving the interests of the American people, nor are they interested in it. People look at me and they know one thing. I would be interested in serving the American people and doing what's in the best interest of this country. That means you, that means me, that means the black community, the Hispanic community, the white community, everybody. Because if all of us are rife with chaos, all that's going to lead to is America's destruction. And why would we want to be a part of that? So again, I'm not qualified. There are plenty of people that are qualified, more qualified to be at practically everybody. But are you going to win? And are you going to be committed to doing what's in the best interest of America? I know I'm that kind of person. That much I will say for myself. I'm not interested in division. I'm interested in galvanizing. That's what I'm about. That's what I try to be about. And sometimes you do that by calling it like you see it. And that's certainly something that I have proven I would do. I'd call it like I see it.
You know, when Stephen A. said that the real work of elected officials is just disagreeing with the other side, he basically summed up the entire problem in Washington in one sentence. It's all performative politics and empty theater, and sure, both parties are guilty of it, but let's be real here, the Democrats perfected it. They turned governance into a performance where you're rewarded for not solving problems, but for spewing slogans and trashing your opponent. That's why people are fed up, and that's why the uniparty is crumbling. And the irony of all this is establishment media hacks like Tapper helped create this mess in the first place. Now they're stuck awkwardly nodding along as their own guests torch the system they helped defend.
What are some of the things that Democrats have been doing that have turned you off and that make you say the party needs to be purged? Who needs to be purged from it, first of all? Do you have any names?
Well, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to do that to a lot of people. But we know who the extreme left is. We know how they go about operating. We know what we lean towards when it came to open borders. We know that the spending was excessive, even though it's excessive on the Republican side as well. I think a $37 trillion budget. When Republicans try to act like it's just the Democrats, that's not true. But the Democrats certainly shouldn't be absolved from blame in that regard. I'm talking about what they preached and what they talked to the American people about. more so than what they're doing. The kind of messages that they were disseminating was incredibly uncomfortable to listen to and to hear, and I thought that it wasn't emblematic of what most Americans are thinking about. They're trying to pay their mortgages, rent, buy food and groceries, pay gas, and deal with the prices, the cost of living. And they want safety in the streets. That's primarily what most American citizens are about, trying to live in peace and harmony. And that's not something that I think either side has promoted along the way. And that's why I think the state of the nation is what it is at this particular moment in time.
I don't agree with Smith on everything, but he's absolutely right here. The kind of fear culture that's been pushed by the left since Obama isn't liberalism, it's authoritarian nonsense. And it ironically kicked millions of people out of their own party and straight into Trump's camp. Because Democrats used to try to talk about real things like jobs and wages, and now they're policing language and pushing fringe ideologies. It's like Smith said, they focused more on appealing to feelings than policies. And the funny thing about this whole segment is that you've got Tapper sitting there like it's the first time he's hearing all of this, when pretend journalists just like him are the ones who push the exact culture that led to this backlash. It's absolutely laughable at this point. But hey, welcome to reality, Jake. Your party lost the plot, and now your audience is waking up to it. But let me know what you think. Is Stephen A. right? Did Democrats destroy themselves with radical progressive policies and media spin? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching.